Thursday night, had a nice dinner in Jackson at the Silver Dollar.
Yes, I believe that was the
Which
name.
is, there's $2. Okay, the $1 Million Cowboy Bar is right across from Town Square. And that's the one where you saddle up literally to the bar.
Right.
They're saddles. But around the corner is the Silver Dollar Bar. That's part of the Wirt Hotel. Here's the menu. You can see their prices.
Oh, and the food was good.
Yeah, what'd you got? Some trout?
Yeah, I got the trout. And then you got the elk gyro.
Elk gyro.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So good.
So good. We got some corn chowder. It's their signature.
And their peach huckleberry
little
cobbler
crisp
thing. Oh my gosh, that
end.
was good.
Just fantastic.
Really good.
And they definitely had a motif going on. They had the cowboy gambler.
With the saloon girl.
With the saloon girl.
Yeah, I thought that was cute, honestly. I like that.
Motif going on there.
Yeah, and they had a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little salacious.
A few.
Yeah.
So the next morning, bright and early, to get on a wildlife tour with our friends at Brushbuck Wildlife Tours.
Right.
Now, you may remember we brought them up when they were in the Super Bowl commercial for Google Gemini with Google Sheets.
Yes.
Where you can not only sort regular data.
Yeah.
But not just quantitative, but qualitative data.
Yes. Yeah, and not just words like good or something like that, because that is still sort of qualitative in the sense that has to come up a certain amount of times, but it was able to interpret the reviews and sort of categorize them, which was kind of neat.
So they were in this commercial. We talked about them. They said, come and do a tour. And so we did.
And it was awesome.
Now, it's called the Full Day Grand Teton Private Tour. If that sounds like too much of a commitment to you, you should know it's only from like 6:30 to 2:30.
Yeah. So it's really not too bad. Yes.
That's still 8 hours.
Yes. It is an 8-hour tour.
Yeah.
But you end up having the whole rest of your day because you get up so early.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was great. And getting up so early, I think, is important because then you can see some of the wildlife. You're awake before some of them.
Yes, which makes sense because you want to get to the location before they do so you can actually catch them.
So it was a beautiful morning. There was some fog just burning off on the elk refuge.
Yes.
Land. There we are in the heart of the Tetons, just they're right next door. And we saw all sorts of fun stuff. Buffalo.
My gosh. Buffalo, elk. We saw some pronghorns. My
Pronghorn,
personal
leghorn.
favorite were the otters.
Yes.
We saw a trio of little river otters that were going fishing, and they were so stinking cute. I loved them so much.
And that was it. It was Horseshoe Bend. Is that the
I think so.
right place? Anyway.
I'm so bad at locations.
Yeah.
Where
there was a beautiful reflection, but there's the cute otters all just happy with themselves, eating the fishies.
Right. And one thing I really appreciated is that they provide binoculars. I had one really crappy pair that I had planned to bring because I don't own a good pair of binoculars. I hadn't thought about it, But I had those in my bag and I was ready to whip them out. And then as soon as we opened the door, I saw these really big, really nice binoculars for us to use. And they also had this really cool scope that was even better at like magnifying it. These guys know that you're not supposed to get too close to the wildlife, so they want to make sure you can still see them really well without being in danger.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So we'd get out of the car when, first of all, they were expert at spotting. Here's what I would say. If you think you can go and do Yellowstone and you haven't had a lot of experience spotting or glassing, which is what they call when they use binoculars.
Yeah.
You could drive an entire day through the park and go, oh, we had a nice drive, but didn't really see anything.
Yeah. There were so many times when they were like, oh, there's an animal over there. And to the naked eye, I saw nothing.
Right. They're good.
Really good.
They're like, really. And they've been doing it for a couple of decades. I think our tour guides were Mark and Allie. Mark was the experienced dude. Allie was sort of the trainee.
Yeah.
The apprentice learning. And you could learn something from everybody in the car.
Right.
But it was just us four. It was kind of, and we were in the back seat. It was kind of like riding with mom and dad.
A little bit.
If mom and dad knew a whole shit ton about
all the critters in the park.
Where to go, time of day, what you're going to see, what to look for, a little history of every place we visited. It was an amazing experience, Brushbuck Wildlife Tours. We want to thank you so much for allowing us on this thing. And we have to tell you, if you're in Idaho Falls and you're looking for a day trip and you want to be a tourist in your own backyard,
right?
This is perfect.
It really was. And I do think that it is absolutely worth the cost of it. I will say that if you do want to pack even more into the day, you might be inclined to do the 4-hour tour. Because the thing is, a lot of these animals are only out at dusk and dawn. So you don't necessarily...
And there's a word, corpuscular?
Yes.
Is that there's some word that Mark taught us. I don't think that's it.
No, I think it is.
Corpuscular?
Right.
Something anyway, but basically active in the morning and afternoon and no other times.
Right, because it gets too hot during the day, which honestly, I relate.
And they sleep during the night.
Right. But yeah, so I think that you definitely can get a lot done in just that 4 hours, but you can get even more done in the 8, but you'll see more landscape in the 8-hour tour. Yeah. If you're only going for the critters, the 4-hour is good too, but I think the 8-hour was amazing.
It felt like an entire vacation packed in I'm all about efficiency.
Yeah, you are.
And just getting her done. But we'd go to certain stops. All right, well, let's get out. Stretch your legs. Okay, you're looking right over there. Binocs, boom, they're up. You're seeing it. By the time you put your binoculars down, he's got the scope set up so that you can look through it. He's even got taking cell phone photos through the scope. So these were actual photos of actual activity that we encountered that day.
It was pretty cool.
What else? Can we think of everything? Blue herons?
Yes,
Plenty of deer.
We saw a lot of different birds. Oh, yeah. I thought Fabio was a really cool one. Do you remember Fabio?
You spotted this one.
Yes, yeah. So we were leaving one of the rest stops that we'd gone to, use the bathroom, etc. And right on the side of the road was this huge elk, just like having a grand old time. He couldn't have been more than about 6 feet away from me in the car.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you stretched and I held your ankles while you reached out, you could have touched him.
I could have pet him.
The velvet on his antlers. I guess Fabio's a special boy who doesn't mind humans a bit.
No.
Like to a sadly dangerous for him extent.
Right. Yeah, apparently he's one of the animals that they have to haze. That's the term that they use for it. Yeah. Basically where they are just kind of dicks to animals so that they don't like humans.
Honking their horns, yelling, stomping their feet and stuff. Yeah. Hopefully, 8 out of 10 animals will react with, oh shit, I'm out of here. Sorry, bro.
Right.
But 2 out of 10 will be like, herp derp, how you doing?
Right.
And those are the ones that have to get put down because they're too friendly.
Well, and too okay with humans to the point where they may attack.
Right. Yeah. Where something bad is going to happen.
Maybe friendly isn't even the word. Maybe it's more that they're so unfazed, that
their own instincts aren't serving them well.
Right.
Maybe. Anyway, we learned so much. Like, I feel like, so I've lived here almost my entire life, all but 20 years on and off. So over half my life. Yeah. I guess that's the way I need to say that.
Sure.
And I feel like I've seen it all. Nope. Not after spending 8 hours in a car with Brush Buck Wildlife Tours.
Yeah, I feel like I saw so much more in that one tour than I ever did on any of my visits there combined.
Okay, I've always known the Idaho view of the Tetons. Now I'm very intimate with not only the Jackson Hole view, the Teton Village view, the
Pierre's Hole
Eastern view, the Pierre's view, which is the Idaho side, and then the Cathedral view from the north.
Yes,
got it all locked in now.
Right.
A memory I'm going to keep forever. So anyway, thanks again, Brush Buck. Well worth it. Link to them in this post. And we're so glad we made your acquaintance. You were in that Super Bowl commercial. And let's see, what's next on our list? Alaska or Africa?
Yeah, I think so.
They also have Brush Buck tours there.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Alaska lately. Yeah. But I feel like the critters in Africa would be neater. So that's a tough one.
So Brush Buck Wildlife Tour, thanks again. We are fans for life. Crisp high five. 21 finger gun salute and chef's kiss.
To you for getting us closer to the critters.